Hey, what's up? I'm back again, trying to make a video before the sun gets too bright because it always makes me look darker than I really am, and I really don't want that, okay? So this truly is my last video opportunity before Halloween. And although I'm not wearing my orange shirt, I'm gonna save it for the actual day of Halloween. I'm wearing something that is a fall color, okay? And one thing I'd like to talk about in this video is how I forgot, you see, my videos are so long that I actually forget to go on the tangents, that I intend to go on because it's already bad enough for them to be as long as they are. Okay, and what I wanted to talk about, which I'm really not proud of this story, but regarding my Christmas lights that I bought, I love those battery operated Christmas lights. That's about the best thing they ever invented. And one thing I forgot to discuss was a story about what happened to some Christmas lights. I want to say, I'm pretty sure it was January of 2018 or something like that. Well, we used to have the kind of Christmas lights that you would string up and plug in, just regular Christmas lights. And, well, at our old house, the house that we lived in, all the while I was growing up, and all my sister's life until she left for college, we used to have strings of lights all around our house until my dad left. And then, of course, my mom couldn't do that, but she would still decorate the inside for Christmas. So for, let's see, was it 15, 16, 17, something like that, 3 years, the first 3 years that I lived here, my dad would put these Christmas lights that you plug in, and he would put them all around the porch. When I first moved here, things were slightly different, but of course it takes several years to see gradual change progress. And he was just a little bit more fun when I first moved here. Like, I would never say that he was like when he was younger, but he wasn't, sleeping quite as much as he is today. He had some energy. And so basically, we had these Christmas lights all around our porch and everything. And it was, I don't know, I wasn't too crazy about the rainbow colors, because my favorite is the white, but it was all right. Okay, and as I've stated before, the apartment does not want you to have Christmas lights or any holiday lights more than 10 days into the following month, okay? And I didn't quite know that at the time. But the first year, he put them up, and he even put hooks all over the place. You had to stand on something to get them up there, which makes it dangerous. And that's why my mom stopped putting up outdoor Christmas lights the year he left. So we had all these lights, and you actually had to run an extension cord in here because we didn't have an outdoor plug, which that always bothered me because I was afraid that the extension cord would get damaged and start a fire. So for 3 Christmases, we had those lights, and it got very frustrating every January when the apartment would be putting notices on our door and even calling us or texting us to say that we needed to take down our Christmas lights after January 10th. And each day that we wouldn't, we would get another notice. And they would threaten to fine us. Okay? So the first year that happened, my dad just got, I wouldn't say mad, but he even threatened to move to another apartment, which that didn't happen. He said we might ought to look for another place to live if they're going to be like that. How dare they tell us what to do with our lights? Or he says that we could try to tell them it's Mardi Gras lights or something like that. Something smart, Ellie. But he did begrudgingly take them down that night. And I want to say each year it was harder to get him to put them up. He would always hope that I'd forget and just say, oh, well, we don't need to put them up this year. And that last year, I want to say it was maybe 8 days before Christmas, before we got ours up. Like the neighbors had theirs long before we ever did. So I think it was 2017, we finally got them up maybe a week before Christmas, and I didn't really get to enjoy them because I spent Christmas at my mom's house. Then I came back in mid-January. They were still up. And the apartment was starting to get on us about we needed to take them down. Okay, so here it is, January 23rd or something of 2018. And it was just really frustrating me because every single day, like, he would promise that he was going to take them down, then somehow or another he wouldn't get around to doing it, or it would rain, or it would be cold, and it just made me so mad that last Sunday when he just sat and watched a football game in his chair all weekend long. Then 9 o'clock Sunday night rolls around, that last Sunday in January or something like that. And he says, oh, I didn't get to taking the lights down. We'll just do it tomorrow, or we'll do it sometime next week. Oh, well, we'll do it Monday. What is it going to hurt to have them up another day? Okay, so I had to take matters into my own hands because it was really starting to bother me that we were astrologically going into the month of Aquarius. So basically, we're no longer in Capricorn. We're now in Aquarius. So Christmas is a month in the past. We've now had the lights up much longer into the new year than we had them in December. And I just got very angry about this. And I'm not proud of what I did, but, it really was a turning point. I just got so angry that I got on that stool and I said, well, I'll make sure these lights never come up again, so they'll never have to come down again. Okay? And somehow or another, I was angry because he put me in danger of getting hurt. Okay? I didn't keep my legs closed and avoid having a baby so that I could break my neck falling off a chair trying to take down or put up lights. Okay? That is not what women were designed to do. Damn it anyhow. Women were not made to climb ladders, to do dangerous, life-threatening work like that, and for something as stupid as a Christmas light that doesn't even need to be there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can celebrate Christmas without Christmas lights. They did it for centuries, okay? Nobody needed Christmas lights until the past 100 years. And certainly not rainbow Christmas lights like that, which were losing their color due to the sunlight. Okay, so I took matters into my own hands. I said, oh yeah, he won't take them down? Well, I'll show him. And so I got the gardening shears that I use on my plants, and I basically just ripped them down and I cut them as I went. And I can remember the sound of them snapping, and it was amazing how stretchy they were. Because, it's coated in rubber. So I heard the sound of all these little glass bulbs breaking and the rubber snapping. And I just cut them with gardening shears because I didn't want to stand up there and do it the right way, and also used a broom to knock them down. And I just did it, I was so angry. I just did it the worst possible way. No, I didn't feel good about that, tearing up a string of lights that worked, even though it wasn't the prettiest string of lights anymore. No, I didn't feel good about that. But, it truly, at the moment, it gave me relief from my anger. Anger is a problem that I've had. And when I used to have a period, it was 10 times worse than it is today. I've actually settled down or calmed down a bit since having the hysterectomy. So anyway, long story short, I tore up that string of lights, but I cleaned up my mess. You know, I swept them into a grocery sack and walked all the way to the dumpster without ever telling him. I threw away the extension cord, which already had a little bit of fraying that I was, deathly afraid would cause a fire. So I never did like that setup. I didn't really tell him that, but it just seemed unnecessary to have to, plug them in with an extension cord inside, just to have a few hours of a lit up porch. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt so angry, and I told my mom about it over the phone. And she wasn't too upset because, of course, she didn't buy them. But I've never told him. To this day, he still doesn't know what became of that string of lights and the extension cord. Okay? And so I threw them in the dumpster with the extension cord. And I said I will never, 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 never get him to put those up again. Because he is so lazy that he is not reliable. It's just infuriating. It's like he's reluctant to put them up. It's almost Christmas by the time they go up. And then he wants to wait until February or March to take them down. I think we were almost March the first year. Wow. And that did not set well with the apartment. Or 1 year for sure. It was close to March. Maybe leap day or something like that by the time they came down. But of course I can't do anything about the inside. And we have a lot of Christmas stuff that just stays up indefinitely because we don't have the storage, okay? We can't put it away because we don't have enough storage to put it away. So anyway, it's not that I have something against celebrating Christmas, which I don't. Never have, never will. But I do not think we need a string of plug-in rainbow lights going all around the porch, trying to show off for the neighbors that do stuff like that. Let them do that. If they're young men, let them have the fun of climbing on things and, putting up unnecessary Christmas lights. Because I don't think we need it. And if that dollar store string of battery-operated lights that I can easily put above the door frame and the wreath that I've hung on to all these years doesn't say Merry Christmas, then maybe it doesn't need to be said. And neither does Happy Halloween this Sunday. And while the sun is bright and it isn't so windy, I'll go ahead and enjoy the moon in the daytime sky. Well, the moon is out in the daytime again. And I was hoping it wouldn't be quite so windy, but